And good morning. Hey there, Peter. Hi, Pat. Good morning, Debbie. Joe, welcome to the YouTube show. How is everyone after their Thanksgiving feast? Good, I hope. I thought since we're all that full of Thanksgiving goodies that I would make something. I make a lot, and it's really kind of light, like a light lunch, a salad. I thought that would be good for the weekend after Thanksgiving. So let me know you're here. I see 4 comments, but that's it. There we go. Good morning, Lisa. Pat's feeling good. Peter, my friend, I'm glad to see you. I'm sorry this is the only channel I get to see you on, but you're here. Diana, hi, y'all. So this is going to be like a mini New Mexico, not even New Mexico, a mini dried chili class. And I'll show you how to make my sauce. And then when we have that sauce made, I'll show you what I do with it, okay? If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. I am Chuck, and I have a popular blog, brandnewvegan.com, and support group that you can find at bnvcommunity.com. Hi, Morris and Kitty Mommy. So yeah, I'm all over, but I haven't done a lot with YouTube, and I apologize for that. So if you like the cooking channel here, what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks, the lives on Saturday, be sure to give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, all that YouTubey stuff. And let's get going. So dried chili pods, you probably, and I make a mess already. I haven't even started yet, and I'm making a mess. I got a towel here somewhere. There we go. Almost every grocery store, at least here in Oregon, have these. These are the dried chili pods. And if there's a glare, I apologize. I'll put them out on a plate so you can see. These are my favorite. These are the New Mexico, and they say right here, New Mexico. And I think I can get a top down. There we go, New Mexico chili pods. But you're going to find lots of chili pods, different kinds. These, let me unwrap them so you can see, are called guajillo. These are Mexican, from Mexico, chili pods. Different flavor, same idea. These are anchos. And I'll take these out of the bag so you can see what they look like. Well, maybe not. They're not open. An ancho is nothing more than a dried poblano. You know what a poblano is. You see them in the grocery stores next to the jalapenos. They're not as hot as a jalapeno. And then these little guys, remember the rule, the smaller the chili, the hotter they are. These are chili de arbol, and they are very, very spicy. So on the Scoville heat index, that's the little scale that people use to rank how hot peppers are. These are the hottest. We're not going to use these. I just wanted to show you what they look like. So we'll toss them over there. These are really mild, and I do use them in some of my recipes, more for the Mexican recipes. And if you go to my blog, brandnewvegan.com, and click on the category Mexican recipes, you'll see some of my recipes that use these. And I usually use these in combination with the guajillo. These are slightly milder in spice than my favorite, the New Mexico. Switch the camera back. I like these because I lived in Albuquerque for 10 years and I fell in love with the New Mexican food. Good morning, Darcy. Oasis telling me my cranberry sauce tastes really good in oatmeal. Good morning, Janet from Pittsburgh. That's in Chicago. Good morning, Joe. So let's take these out so you can see what they look like. And I'll compare a couple of the New Mexicos with a couple of the Guajillos. They are a different pepper, as I said, and they have a different spice level. It's very similar, but the New Mexicos, I think, are slightly spicier. So you can see what they look like. These are the New Mexico. These are the Guajillo. Now, when they're dried, they should be, yeah, see, these are really dry, and I could break this in half. I don't know if you heard that or not. These are fresher. You can see how much more fresh they are. New Mexico. I like to buy the freshest one I can. They're still dried, but these, I think they've been in the bag for a long time because they'll just snap like that. All right, so that's your chili class. Out of all of those, jalapenos are hotter. If that's any guide, don't need the plate. Get rid of that. And we're also going to try to do this whole thing in my very condensed cooking class, or cooking office. Hi, Trish. I have very limited space here, so we'll try to make this work. It's a 10 by 12 room, and that half of the room is full of computer stuff, and you can't see where I'm looking right now, but I have 800 bubble mailers ready for the cookbooks when they arrive, so we can start shipping. They're not here yet. I'll let you know as soon as they're here. Okay, so the first thing I did, we're going to make the sauce. I took about 20 of those New Mexico chilies. Funny thing, I saw a Facebook post the other day that said everybody has this pan. Yep, I have that pan. It's been well used. But I put about 20 chilies on here, dry, no oil, nothing like that. Popped them in the oven, 250 Fahrenheit, for about 10-15 minutes. When you cook the chilies right out of the bag, you're kind of waking up the flavor a little bit. It just enhances the flavor. And to me, if you know me at all, you know I like spice. The flavor of the chilies is also very important. Very important. So now we gotta clean these, and I'll show you how. We need a bowl, and we need scissors. And I'll get rid of that. I'm gonna grab a chair because this will be a while. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm assuming you can. When you bake them, you're also drying out the seeds. I don't know if you can hear this. Here's my microphone. You can hear the rattlers. Yeah, that's good. It makes it easier to clean. You want to take the top, snip it off. 250 for about 10-15 minutes. So there's the seeds. They came right out. And I'm going to drop these. I need a place to drop these. I have my Instapot down here because I don't have hot water in this room. I don't have any water in this room. As I said, it's an office. It's not a kitchen. I wish. We'll make it work. So once you clean your chilies, drop them in a bowl. If you do have really hot water at your house, thank you, Morris. Thank you, Pat. If you have hot water right out of the tap, you don't have to worry about Instant Pot or anything like that. But when you clean these, the next step is to rehydrate them. And that means soaking them in really hot water. And if you want, feel free to just peel these open. It's not going to work sitting down after all. I tried. You can peel these open. You can cut them open. right down the length, like that. I'll switch the camera so you can see. Try to get all those seeds out. Move that over, move that out of the way. Now you can see we're going to cut the head off with their heads. Get as many of those seeds out as we can. We're going to open this up. And you can see all the seeds in there. Try to get as many as you can. Now, people often think the seeds are what make a chili pepper hot. It's not exactly true. This little guy right here, and you can't see it very well, I got a fresh chili here. I'm going to open it up so you can see. You know when you cut open a jalapeno, you got that white, stringy, I call it a membrane. I think botanically it's called the placenta. But this stuff right here, the stringy stuff, that's where all the heat's at. We can use this chili. I didn't bake it, but it's okay. Good question, Pat. Do you wear gloves? If you don't, you run the risk of getting that oil, capsaicin, that's what it's called. It may not be pronouncing that right, but that's how I say it. It's invisible, but it's what makes the chili spicy. And every chili pepper, jalapenos, ghost peppers, Carolina Reaper, that was the hottest known pepper known to man. There's a new one now, Pepper X. Now, they all have different levels of that oil, that capsaicin. It will get on your fingers. More fresh chilies, like jalapenos, the red Fresno chilies I use to make sriracha. And if you don't wear gloves, it will get on your fingers. You will not know it. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing something like this, all of a sudden my eye itches. And if you touch your eye, rub your eye with that oil on your fingers, you will scream. It does burn. So wearing gloves is a very good idea if you're not used to working with peppers. If you don't wear gloves, at least wash your hands afterwards, especially the jalapenos, stuff like that. The veins, that's a good way to say it, Morris. Yeah, you can use the older chilies. They all work. It's all about the flavor and the spice level. If you see any that look rotten, sometimes they've been in those bags in the store for a long, long time, don't use those. Most of the seeds are usually attached to that seed pod, those veins, as Morris called it, right there. And sometimes little bits will flake off of the chili. Just grab it, throw it in there. This is the most tedious part, but it is so, so good. And you can use this sauce on so many things. I like, for breakfast, I know it may sound weird, but a potato right out of the microwave. I have one of those microwavable potato bags. And like 4 minutes in the microwave, and then pour this red chili on top with a little cilantro, and oh, that's so good. So I do make this sauce a lot. And these little bags of chilies, as I said, They're in every grocery store I've ever walked into here in Oregon anyway. You have to go to the, well, the crunchy one. Yeah, expect seeds to fly everywhere too. That's part of it. You have to go to the Mexican aisle, the one with the taco shells and salsas and stuff like that. And you should see these dried chili pods in their bags hanging on a rack. Oh, they fly everywhere. So while I'm doing this, how was y'all's Thanksgiving? Did you get good and full? Enjoy your family? Do anything exciting? We had my mother-in-law here. That's always exciting. My stepdaughter came over with her husband and my grandson. We had a full house. My wife did cook a turkey. No, I didn't eat any. I'm the vegan of the house. My wife is too. She cooked it mostly for her mom and the kids because they are not vegan. Me and my wife are the only two that eat this way, plant-based. Lisa says I've used older chilies. They may need to soak longer. That's a good point. For those of you that don't know, a lot of the people in this group, Lisa and Pat and Debbie, Diana, they're part of my support group, bnvcommunity.com, and we do this live stream thing every day there, every morning at 9 o'clock. It's only Saturday that I'm here on YouTube. So if you want more of this type of stuff, please feel free to come over there and join us. I do have to charge because it costs me to have that group. I'm using the Mighty Network. So I charge $1 a month. It's really cheap. Or $10 a year, whichever. Save a couple bucks. And we have all kinds of things going on over there. We have a book club. We're actually getting ready to read Undo It by Dr. Dean Ornish. We've done Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. We've done The Starch Solution with McDougall. We've done a lot of books. We have a exercise group giving you ideas on different things you can do to stay active. We have a movie room full of documentaries, anything I can find on YouTube. I just put a new one in there the other day. It's called Escape Fire. And guys, I watched it yesterday. Oh my God. It's good. It's really good. You need to watch it. If you have Amazon Prime Video, you'll get a much better quality video than the YouTube one I put up. But either way, it's a really good documentary. And Dr. Dean Ornish is in it all the way at the end. If you don't get all these seeds out, every single one, don't worry about it. They'll float in the water later when we rehydrate. Almost there. Whoops, I didn't mean to put that in there. Wrong bowl. There we go. And I did it again. I put the seeds in there. Exactly what I did not want to do. Oh well, that's all right. We'll get them. Keep my bowl straight here. All right, good. Let's get rid of this somewhere like that. Can't believe I dumped those seeds in here. They won't hurt you. They're kind of bitter. And I try to get them all out. All right. Done with the scissors. let's get the Instant Pot going. The next step, like I said, is to rehydrate these. One of these days, I'll have a big kitchen studio. I'll have to worry about all this finagling. But for now, this is what we got. And again, if you have hot water out of your tap, or you just want to microwave some water, or boil some water, that's fine. I have my chilies. For the chili recipe, you need 2 cups of water. I've got about 4 cups in here. I'm just going to pour that in. You just want the chilies to be soaked. So make sure they're down in the water. And I'm only going to set this for, I'm just going to let it come up to pressure. And that should be good. So I have the manual, and I'm going to go 0 minutes. So it's going to pump down the pressure and come right back up. That's it. And that should be just enough to soften the chilies. That's all we're trying to do. So I'm going to hit start. There it goes. Escape Fire. Yes, that's the name of it. Diana said, my 99-cent store has a wall of those bagged chilies, many varieties. Yes, exactly. They're everywhere if you look for them. And when you're looking for the dried chilies, look right above them. Sometimes they have the spices. And people have asked me all the time, where do you get that Mexican oregano that you use? That's where I get it, right there. And it's really cheap. Pat told me my daughter and her boyfriend took me out to dinner last night for Thanksgiving after the fact. And I must say I was disappointed compared to the food I fixed myself. Getting restaurant food, great. Yeah, all that oil and salt. And Jill enjoyed her family and had a meal at Benihana. Oh, nice. I have not been there in years. Darcy had a great time together in the group, and everyone is so supportive regardless of where you are. Oh, it's my B&V group, the support group. Yes, we do have a great time together, and we are supportive. That's what we're for. We're here to support you, because if you're the only one trying to eat this way in your house, it's really hard. I know. I did it for years, and a lot of these people here are doing it too. If you don't have that support group to fall back on when things get kind of dicey, it can mean the difference between you failing or staying on plan. And we want you to stay on plan, because ultimately that's going to be in your best interest for your health. So we are supportive regardless of where you are on your eating or health journey. That's my favorite part about the group. Thank you, Darcy. And the movie was called Escape Fire. Yes. So all we're going to do here is just let this come to pressure. It'll vent. This chili should be soft. And then we'll make the chili sauce. Again, you do not need an Instant Pot. You can boil water on your stove. You can microwave it. If your tap water out of your sink is hot, do that. You just want to soak the chilies long enough to rehydrate, to soften. Yeah, so Pat, what you could do is put 4 cups. Let's say 4 cups. Doesn't really matter. You need 2 cups of water for the recipe, at least 2 cups. But you need enough water to cover the chilies. Put it that way. Whatever size pan or pot you use, put the chilies in, cover them with water. And then just heat it up until it just starts to simmer. Turn it off, put the lid on, and let them soak for like 5 minutes. Steam. You're just trying to soften. You're not cooking them, so it doesn't really matter. You can boil the water by itself and then turn off the heat, take it off the stove, and just drop your chilies in, put the lid on, and let them steep for about 5 minutes. That's all you gotta do. And you'll see what they look like when they come out. I forget how to look on here. Oh, we got 32 people watching. Nice. To all 33 of you, welcome. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy the show. Hope you like Mexico chili. I do. Like I said, I lived there for 10 years. I just fell in love with it. Per Google, the title Escape Fire is a metaphor. Yes, so in the documentary, Lisa, they were talking about a group of firefighters. So this is where the name came from. And it's exactly what you described. The solution was so obvious or so counterintuitive that they were missed. There was a group of firefighters fighting a fire, and they were being trapped. The fire was spreading so fast, and they were not going to make it. They were not going to be able to escape. So one of the firefighters started fire right at his feet. And what happened is it burned the area around him. So when the fire finally caught up, there was no fuel left. It was called an escape fire. And he was the only one that survived. So it's doing something so obvious that we usually don't see it. Or counterintuitive, like Lisa said. And what they're talking about is the healthcare. The whole documentary is about our healthcare system. And it was done 10 years ago. And really, I haven't seen much change. Jill said Benihana had vegan choices, but not oil-free. Of course not. There's not a restaurant out there that's oil-free that I have found. Howdy, Chris Murphy. Welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, so the documentary is talking about our healthcare system and how the insurance part, the doctor part, how they can look at a patient for 5 minutes and, prescribe a stent or a bypass and make $1,500. But if they take 45 minutes to sit down with a patient to find out what the real root cause problem is, they get paid maybe $15. I mean, it's backwards. It's what we used to say, bass backwards. All this fancy stuff they're doing, it costs so much money when the obvious solution is right in front of us. It's eating well, as Dr. Ornish would say, moving more, stressing less. That's my issue right now, stressing less, and loving more, or having that support group, which bnvcommunity.com is. Having a group of people around you to love you and support you and help you on your journey. So those are his 4 pillars of his program. He is covered by Medicare. I looked that up. He's the only one. McDougall, Barnard, all the other plant-based doctors have their own little programs, but Ornish is the only one that has his covered by Medicare. And I looked up the cost. It's like $9,500. It's expensive, but Medicare will cover it, so there you go. Lavender Bee says the oil-free requirement is really a hurdle when eating out. It is. I go to ethnic restaurants. I do not go to American restaurants. I like Chinese places. We have a place we go to in Sequim, Washington, when we go up and see relatives. And they know us, and they're willing to make their dishes oil-free for us. That's nice. Yes, but he did go light on the oil, and that helps. Every tablespoon is 120 calories, so. All right, my dropper has dropped. I'm going to see if anything happened. Look at the steam. Nice. I wasn't even paying attention. So let me show you. I saw on Facebook, every time you grab some of these, you have to do that. It's a requirement, and I do. So pick these chilies up, and you can see how soft and flimsy they are. Let me get a different angle. There we go. You guys see that? Nice and soft and flexible. That's what you want. So I'm going to go pull these out one by one. I pick them up by the pointy end. So if there's any seeds or any water, try and get a view of that, it'll just drain right out. That's not very good either. Grab the pointy stem or the pointy end and just let that stuff drain out. Toss them right into our blender. One at a time. There are seeds in the water. That's okay. We're not going to use them. If you have any seeds on your chili, you can see how flimsy that is. Perfect. So Pat, that's your answer. Just long enough to get the chilies as flimsy as this. I didn't even cook these. I put them on 0 minutes. Just the pressure to come down to pressure and back up was all it took. So if you have hot tap water, cover your chilies and let them sit until they're like this, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Something else you should be aware of, this chili does stain. I'm not saying you need to have a B&V apron, but if you want one, I know where you can get them. But you do want to be careful of your clothing, your countertops, whatever. There we go. We're almost there. So tongs are really handy for this. Now I gotta find room. Let's put the, I need the water. I'm gonna go ahead and add the water. I need 2 cups. Now here's a trick I learned from a Mexican restaurant guy and chef Rick Bayless. Taste your water. If it tastes really, really bitter, toss it and just get fresh water out of the tap. But if it tastes good, it's not bitter, go ahead and use it. We need 2 cups of this water to put in with our chilies. I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic. I have some garlic here. It's about 2 or 3 cloves. And look at the size of that garlic clove. That's my kind of garlic. I have a little piece of onion. You don't need a lot. Maybe 1/4 of an onion, if that. A little tiny piece here. I'm going to drop that in. We're making a sauce now. I have a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, some of that Mexican oregano, a little bit of cumin, and a little bit of salt. I'm going to dump that in. Keep all my utensils straight over here. Don't need those anymore. And hi, Tammy. Let me get this water and I'll Be right back. So we go up to Port Angeles, Tammy, to see relatives. And if you're not far from Squim, you know where that's at. I think Dynasty is the name of the restaurant. Dynasty Chinese. I want to say it's on the east side of Squim. There's a park right across the street. I don't think it's Carrie Blake Park, but there's another park that's right across the street. If you Google Dynasty Chinese in Squim, you'll find it. And the owner is wonderful, really sweet lady. She works there every day. She owns it. Her husband cooks, and she's the waitress. Really good food, really good service. You want about 2 cups. And you can always add more water. It'll thin it, and it'll dilute the chili flavor a little bit too. But I'm going to start with 2. That's pretty close. I have some more in here if I need it. Let's start with that. Get that seed out if I can. There we go. So 2 cups of water, the chili water. Pour it without making a mess, which I usually always do. All right. Get this out of here. We're making it work. Not yet. Okay. We're rolling. Let me go back here a ways. Let's see. We have a big tamale making day every December. Boy, those are so good. A lot of work, but really good. It's the best. I sometimes throw in arbo too. You like spicy? Yeah, definitely the way to go. Good morning, Adriana. Welcome. This might be loud. I apologize. I can mute this if you want me to. I wrote that down. My husband likes Chinese food too. There's supposed to be a vegan place in Port Angeles called Rabbit Food. I have heard of that. Another good place in Port Angeles, Tammy, is Turn Up the Beat. They have really good sandwiches. They're downtown. There's a Chinese place in Port Angeles. We didn't like them as much because they're so greasy, very greasy. The one in Squim is much, much better. When you're blending hot liquids, guys, always, if you can, take that off so you don't have a pressurized time bomb here. Where's my towel? I'm just going to use paper towels in case it splatters. Cover up the hole, put your hand on it. There we go. Much better. Okay, let's taste. Let's taste. Let's taste. I'm excited. You can see how thick it is. It does thicken really nicely. It will get thicker in the fridge too. That's good. Is it hot and spicy? It really depends on the New Mexico chili peppers are usually a little bit hotter and spicier than the guajillos. There are so many things that determine how spicy a pepper is. Where was it grown? A New Mexico chili looks just like an Anaheim chili, but I guarantee you the flavor of the Anaheim is not even close to the flavor of a New Mexico. And neither is the spice level. How hot did it get that year? How cold did it get during the evenings? How much humidity does the area get? Most New Mexico chili peppers are grown in an area called Hatch, New Mexico, and they have the perfect soil conditions, weather, everything to make the best chili, in my opinion. Sorry, Colorado. Sorry, Texas. I think we win. So a lot of things determine how hot a chili is. Is this hot? It has a really good spice. I'm not like, oh my God, this is all hot for me. But it does have a spice. Oops. It's a really good flavor. Here's the controversial part. I put the recipe link down below. In the past, I have put an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Oh my God, the comments I get for adding this to New Mexico chili, it's like blasphemous in New Mexico. You just don't do that. If you want to, go ahead. If it makes it milder to where you can eat it because it's too spicy right now, go ahead and do that. It does taste good. And it's in the recipe. So I'm going to leave this like this. Get the blender out of here. Whoa. Whoa. Almost a disaster. And now we get to the chili bowl part. I have some rice, some brown rice. I have some black beans. I cooked this earlier. Hopefully it's still warm. But there's a restaurant here in the Portland area, specifically called Hillsboro, Oregon. They have a restaurant called Amelia's. And we used to eat there a lot. And they have an item on the menu called a vegan bowl. That really great name, huh? Vegan bowl. But basically what they do is they take some refried beans and they place it in the bottom of a bowl. And this bowl is like 2 servings, the size bowl I have here. So I'll eat this for lunch a couple days in a row. So however many, this is a whole can of beans, all right? So however many beans you want. I got a dirty spoon, but that's okay. Then you cover it with rice. And you can use white rice. We do that a lot. My grandson likes white rice. I opted for the brown rice and quinoa today. Again, this is like more than 1 serving here, so consider this bowl more than 1 serving too. All right. Then you get your salad, whatever kind of salad fixings you like. You can use the power greens. You can use spinach. You can use lettuce. This is a combination of kale and spinach. I like to get the mix with the chard in there too. And this is a salad, so make it a salad. Forget the rice and beans are down there. Make your salad. Add your carrots or whatever you want. I like jalapenos. It is a Mexican red chili sauce, so I add a few happies here. They do make me happy. You can add some cherry tomatoes. You can add whatever you want. Radish would be really good in this. And then Chuck says, wow, what a mess I have to clean up. It's all right. And then you add some of this sauce. This is your dressing, guys. Got some on the side there. Add as little or as much as you want. There's no fat in this. No cholesterol. Very little salt. Like a quarter teaspoon. And it makes the best salad. You got your rice. You got your beans. Your protein. Your rice for your starch to fill you up. Your greens for all the vitamins they have. A little cilantro on top. This is not very pretty, but it is very, very good. Come on, get in there. I like cilantro, so I put in a lot. Usually not just stems. And that's my red chili bowl, guys. It's very easy. Yeah, you gotta make the sauce. It takes some time. But that sauce will last in the fridge for days. And now I got red chili all over my fingers. This does stain, remember. Our Thanksgiving dinner couldn't have been much simpler. Roasted sweet potatoes, date sauce, fresh bread with hummus, soup, and a salad. There you go. There you go, guys. Red chili bowl from New Mexico with New Mexico red chili sauce. Hope you guys like the video, the live stream. Like I said, by doing the YouTube stuff, the likes, the thumbs up, the subscribing, that tells YouTube that people like this kind of stuff and they share it with more people. So I appreciate all the help I can get. The greens are good for nitric acid too. Yes. And NO is that stuff in our veins. It helps the veins or arteries open up and close like they're supposed to. So it's really good for blood pressure. And we're right on time. Perfect, 15 minutes. What do you guys think? Could you eat this? Rice, beans, salad, red chili? I know I will. And I do make this a lot. A whole lot. Any last minute thoughts? Thank you, Lavender Bee. I appreciate that. I started doing these lives a few weeks ago, and I enjoy doing them. So I thought, let's do these on YouTube to get that group of people involved. And because honestly, the Mighty group I do every morning, Monday through Friday. I was also doing the Mighty group on Saturday, and I was running out of live stream hours that I'm allotted by Mighty Networks to use. So by doing these on YouTube for Saturday, it frees up some hours during the week. And I enjoy doing it for YouTube. It gets me in front of those people that I don't get to talk to that often. So I'm glad I'm here. We're going to do this every Saturday that I can on YouTube. Hope you'll come back. Next week, we'll make something different. I'll try to come up with a Christmas recipe of some sort. Diana says, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That will help. Love it, says Peter. Thanks, you buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks, Darcy and Jill. Yeah, rice and beans is a staple for a lot of, like the blue zones in Costa Rica. They call it gallo pinto. And they have a special sauce they use, the Lozano sauce. I'm using red chili sauce from New Mexico, but it tastes exactly the same. It's really good. And that's their breakfast in Costa Rica. And they're a blue zone. They live to be 90 and 100 like it's nothing. So Debbie says, yum. You're welcome, Chris Murphy. Thanks for being here, and come back next week. Unless there's anything else, I will say goodbye. You guys have a great Saturday. And for all my community people, I will see you Monday morning. Y'all take care. See ya. Now the fun part, trying to figure out how to end these. Thanks, Joe. I'm glad you're here. I hope you come back. There's an end button here somewhere. You're welcome, Blush the Borrowed Rib. I love these names. Oh, there's where the end. Okay, I see it. Take care, guys. See you next week. Thanks.